Hello everybody, so here we are in front of Sava Center, that big building here. It's June 7th, 2025 and it's almost 7 p.m. so Lara Fabian's concert is about to begin. We're obviously in Belgrade, Serbia, or Belgrade, Serbia, and before I turn off my phone, as you know me, I'm not going to record the concert or anything, maybe a couple of seconds. I wanted to thank you all for informing me about it, for prompting me to go, and for wishing me an enjoyable evening, which is exactly what I'm about to do. So thanks again to all of you. I'll get back to you after the concert with my impressions. Bye until then. It's gonna be late. It's 10 minutes to. And as you can see, the stage is still empty, the seats are still empty, and it's going to be full by the time this actually starts. I have a feeling it's going to be another half hour or so. As I said, maybe hello again. It's the morning after. And what a day. What a day it was. It was astonishing. It was delightful in more ways than one. I'll start with Lara. I did expect an excellent concert. I know the venue. It's used for opera, it's used for ballet, it's used for concerts, obviously. The acoustics are really good. The technicians who work there, I know, are really good, and it had to sound great. I was still not prepared for how good it would sound. Um, I was not prepared for this experience. Midway into the concert, I literally told my husband, I now understand why people almost fall in love with Lara. She came onto the stage, and it was, for lack of a better term, as if this benevolent force, benevolent presence showed up. You could feel the positive energy coming from the stage. We weren't too far off. We were about 8 rows away from the stage, so maybe that's one part of it, but I don't think it is. I don't think that's the only thing. It's just the way she presents herself and the way she connects with the audience. She connected so well. She told us a little bit about the tour, Voices. She gave us bits and pieces of her life in a way. Um, she gave us wonderful songs. I didn't even expect, because I didn't know some of the songs, and I thought, this would be a little strange, like listening to music that I haven't heard before, but I did recognize a lot of them because of all your suggestions, and she would sing the words that are like the title, and I would be like, oh, this must be that one. So some of the first time reactions will not really be first time because they happened in concert. Um, It's also another detail. Yule told me she turns her back to the audience to basically showcase everybody else who's accompanying her. She went one step beyond. She introduced every single singer, every single musician to the audience. She sang her heart out. This ring that I'm used to hearing from Lara online, and even if it's live performances or studio recording, this was better than all of that. Like hearing it live for real was kind of stunning. I was flabbergasted. I did not that I did not expect. It was just above anything I could imagine. Um, it's the best experience. So long story short, Lara is a rare jewel. She's a very special person, I think. And now I know everything you've been saying. Yes, you can feel it when listening to her music online, but up to a point. Live is very different and much, much more intense. She was wonderful. Everything, everyone was wonderful. Um, I even felt offended on her behalf at the very end. The time passed so fast, and it felt like the concert lasted 5 minutes instead of a couple of hours. Um, and at the end, I was like, okay, standing ovation. There was one. It just wasn't long enough in my view, and I wanted to kind of push everyone, like keep clapping, keep applauding. Maybe there will be an encore, but it didn't last. It didn't last 10 plus minutes, which I wanted it to, and I wanted to hear one more song. Um, but overall, gorgeous, wonderful, amazing. All of the words that everybody ever says and doesn't mean it, I mean them all. However, this was not it for me. There was a huge shock after the concert. So both me and my husband usually wait for everybody else to leave, just not to be crowding everyone, like leaving the concert. So a lot of the people, most of the audience left, and we were still in the hall. And something extraordinary happened. Amanda from Manchester, who's viewed my channel, who's seen my reactions, came up to me and said hello. And I don't even know what the first sentences we exchanged were. We were both delighted. And this just turned into me saying, well, would you like to go for coffee? And Amanda was there with Louise, who is in the music world, and the two of them met a couple of days before. So we all went for coffee, and it turned into another couple of hours of a really lovely ending to a really lovely evening. We of course talked about the concert, we talked about Lara, we talked about music in general, we talked about Dimash because, hey, there's a connection. He performed with her a few times, and the latest one was in London with Adagio. Um, we talked about some private things as well that I'm not going to discuss, but it felt like we knew each other forever. We laughed a lot. We joked a lot. We talked about British shows and everything we watched here. It was so much fun. It was so um, uh, uh, I don't know. It was so overwhelming, and it was glorious, really. It was a big shock for me just being recognized, let alone from by someone from England, from a totally different country, and being approached in that way in such a wonderful with such a wonderful smile. It was so cool. Um, I want to take this moment basically to thank you, Amanda, and to thank you, Louise, for a great time, a great ending to a perfect day. Actually, a perfect ending to a perfect day. For all the smiles, for all the laughs, for all the jokes, and for just well taking the time to spend it with us. So thank you for all of that. Thank you for everyone listening. Once again, Lara was amazing. For me, so were Amanda and Luis. And yeah, I'm so glad you sent me off to Lara's concert and kind of persuaded me to listen to one of the greatest performances I've heard in my life. Enjoy the rest of your day. For all of you going to the concert, now I know what you're in for. You cannot not enjoy it. So have fun, and I hope you have an evening as good as mine was. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.